began his new life as a Jehovah's Witness. Joseph raised 2 sons in his new religion, but remained distant from his Jewish daughter. They don't see each other very often.
During the war, everybody I loved died. In order to protect myself, I remained detached in many, many personal relationships. And I had always hands off, something that fear. It's just the old-fashioned panic from the old days. And I wish it wouldn't be that way, but that's, I feel for you.
Joseph's daughter has invited her dad to speak about his Holocaust experience at her son's school. She wants to bring him closer to her Jewish family.
I don't have a problem with, different religions coexisting in one family. I think that that's okay. The only fear I have of, like the Jehovah's Witnesses' way of doing things is that they are trying to indoctrinate other people.
I am turned off when they knock on the door. It's kind of annoying sometimes. We don't answer because we don't want to be bothered by them.
Is anybody over 15? No. You know what it means? Every one of you, if you were in a Jewish ghetto, you would have been killed. Everyone here would be shot. I was separated from my parents when I was 14, just about your age. I was all alone, no place to go, and I finally wound up in a concentration camp. I prayed, but prayer didn't do any good. We could have prayed all we wanted to, and there was no response. There was one barrack, had its own barbed wire around it. It was like a camp within a camp. And I was told that there were Bible students, or Bibelforscher was known in German, or Jehovah's Witnesses. They said, we have to love our neighbors and not kill them. This was so incredible. People who stand up to the Nazis, people who stand up to Hitler, who dare to say no, and they cannot be persuaded any way to do that, gave us a tremendous sense of courage in a way.
There were like certain miracles, like for example, something was reading out of the Torah, and like nobody saw him. Like were any miracles you saw while you were at
I tell you what, it was a miracle. Surviving every day was a miracle, because you had to make decisions all day long.
The kids were transfixed at what my father was saying. It was important for us on a personal level to hear it too.
Decision. You didn't have any choices.
When he talks about being in the camps and going on survival mode, and what's lacking in that whole scheme is hope. And now he feels that he has that hope for the future, to live forever, and I'm sure that that's a big part of the reason for him being involved.
It's just getting to know other religions and getting to know why my grandfather chose to convert to his religion, because, to tell you the truth, after what he went through, they must have had a pretty strong case for him to continue having faith in God.
Today was the first time I really heard firsthand some of the stories, since I've kind of known you for 25 years, but not really known you for 25 years. I'm very protective of Susan, and I've been trying to deal with, what my expectations are of you as a father to her.
I know you were concerned about my distance. And I'm at the same distance from Susie as I am from anybody who was close to me. That's what we discussed.
I guess I just did never understand why you couldn't turn it back on. That's what's in my head. I didn't go through what you did.
Nation shall not lift up the sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore, for the mouth of the Lord Jehovah has spoken it.
During World War II, Jehovah's Witnesses refused to fight. They wouldn't follow Hitler in Germany and wouldn't support the war effort in America. The Witnesses criticized Christian religions that endorsed any nation, strictly following the commandment, thou shalt not kill.
If the leaders of the people today will not follow the Word of God, then let the peoples of the world follow the Word of God. And it's your responsibility as Jehovah's Witnesses to tell the people about this kingdom.
The Jehovah's Witnesses were just beginning a very aggressive campaign of proselytization. Combine that with the nationalism that was sweeping the country in the face of growing international difficulty. And there was quite the unwillingness, the intolerance to hear the message that the witnesses wanted to articulate.
Jehovah's Witnesses were talking about a different solution, and sometimes aggressively so, because they felt very strongly that the ultimate solution doesn't come from war, but rather from God's kingdom.
Witnesses were scorned as unpatriotic. They wouldn't pledge loyalty to any man-made symbols, calling into question what it means to be an American. On the eve of World War II, 2 young Jehovah's Witnesses refused to salute the flag in their Pennsylvania classroom. Across America, thousands of witness kids took the same stand and were kicked out of school. Teachers who were Jehovah's Witnesses were fired, and so were parents who would not salute the flag at work. The witnesses sued the government. 8-1, the Supreme Court ruled against the witnesses. It said the government could force its citizens to make a patriotic salute. Jehovah's Witnesses continued their refusal and defied the ruling. As a result, they were attacked by mobs in 44 states. Tar and feathering, stoning, even castration. Kingdom halls were vandalized and burned. Witnesses were assaulted on the street for preaching. Editorials in 200 newspapers condemned the ruling, noting the irony. Isn't this what America was supposed to be fighting against in Nazi Germany?
The subject that we are concerned with seems to me...
First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt spoke out against these riots and the 1940 decision denying the witnesses their rights. And Jehovah's Witnesses persisted in the courts. They argued that a free country shouldn't force people to pledge allegiance to anything. In an unprecedented move, the Supreme Court agreed and reversed itself in just 3 years.
Between 1935 and 1958, the Jehovah's Witnesses were in the Supreme Court a remarkable 45 times. And there are periods during First Amendment history when you see a particular group really carrying the banner of free expression. You can say that they don't fight, you could say that they don't vote, but what they have done is litigate. And in a way, they've contributed more to American democracy and the protection of American ideals than a lot of people have with their votes.
Jehovah's Witnesses stood up for their own religious freedom. Even if their intention was not to help other groups, the impact shifted the court's focus to protecting the unpopular and expanding rights for everyone. The right to speak freely on street corners and door to door. To publish an unconventional message without getting arrested. The right to be a conscientious objector of war. And the right of all patients seeking medical treatment to control what's done to their bodies.
Can I get the number 8 with a Coke?
Seth's condition has been getting worse. His doctor told him to stop playing hockey because his liver has become seriously compromised.
I can't say that I planned it. I planned on dating someone with some health issues, but when I'm with him, when I talk to him, I try to be strong. Inside, I am terrified. Because if anything does go wrong, I don't want to lose him because I love him too much. It's wasting time.
Without a liver transplantation, there's not a lot that I can do for him. I mean, there are a lot of things that we can do that are in the long run just busy work until his liver fails. Ultimately, have to get a new liver or he'll die.